Sorry, I just tried to start the stream a second ago, but for some reason it my mic wasn't on. So today we're doing an audit for a website that sells matcha tea, green matcha tea, and I just hit up the owner of this site, Emmanuel, and I think he's going to be joining us live. But if you're watching this now, Emmanuel, just know that you can send me an email or type in the chat if you want me to call you as well, and I can talk to you over that. But generally, I can get these things done faster if there's no phone call. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Also, you can ask your questions in the chat, and I'll be sure to answer them. So we got the analytics, we got the Search Console data, and this is the website. So pretty cool. As usual, we're gonna do our SEO tools to start scanning these sites. So we'll go to Screaming Frog, and we'll also go to Zenu. And we got some of my friends in the chat. We got Ronit, we got Leaf, we got Nick, and we got Yeti Apparel. How you guys doing? All right, so we're gonna go into here, press OK, and then go over here. Actually, before we do this, we're actually gonna hook up our API access for analytics, but I do have to add a new account, so I'll do that right now. All right, so this should go through pretty fast, hopefully. And while that one's going, oh, there it is. So boom. So as you guys probably already know, you can hook up the analytics and Search Console through Screaming Frog and see some extra data that you wouldn't normally be able to see, except you do need the Pro license, which is one of those kind of downsides, but other than that, not too bad. Leaf says, I'm watching YouTube on a Friday night, you tell me. Well, that might not always be a bad thing, depending on, what you're into. I mean, I appreciate that you guys watch this on Friday nights. All right, so I don't know what's taking so long. Oh, I guess it just goes through and then there it is. Okay, cool. So now we can start our scan while that's going. Security alert, what the heck? Get out of here. I don't know what I just said okay to. All right, so as usual, first thing we look at is the on page. And I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. I'm gonna use SEO Site Checkup just to look a little bit more in depth at the homepage instead of just using the Moz bar. So this is a website you can use for free checks the first scan, and after that it's like 20 bucks a month, but it's not too bad. I still think SEO Profiler is better at on page, and then also it is good to cross-check this with SEO Centro. Emmanuel just responded, said let's watch live. Cool. So if you're in here, Emmanuel, let me know. Okay, cool. So title tag, we got 56 characters, not too bad. Organic matcha tea, green tea powder, happy matcha Australia. So that's good. It's got the keywords, which I'm assuming those are our main keywords. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a note of that. Well, actually, we don't need to take a note of that, but that's something we can remember. 139 characters in the meta description. That's fine. Looks good. SERP preview looks good. This is the keyword density, which we're not going to look at right now. Keywords in title tag, keywords in meta, and then this is the keyword cloud, which is pretty cool. Matcha, organic, happy, green. T is kind of low on this, but something we can look at later. So got an H1, got an H2. No broken links on the homepage. 6 URLs that are not SEO friendly. Let's see why. It looks like that's just because of the add to cart, but we'll look at that in a second. One JavaScript error, which this just looks like it's from WP Rocket. I don't know what that's about. Maybe something to do with Tag Manager. And then more than 20 HTTP requests. So we might want to look at the load time in a second, which is what we always do. JavaScript and CSS files are not minified. And other than that, we got a mobile site. Not using microdata, and I'm assuming probably not schema as well. So that's just like the overview. Like I said, I don't like doing too much in terms of just like suggesting things right off the bat, but those are some things that you can kind of just get an idea from the homepage, because that's where I always start. And so what we'll do now is we'll open up the Moz bar, and I'm going to look at a couple other things. So we got SSL, that's great. We're going to go over to the markup and go to the structured data testing tool and check that out. While that loads, we're going to go back and start looking at some other stuff. So we'll go into here, we'll look at the OG data. So we'll just grab this and go into Facebook Debugger. open this up right here. And then we'll enter our URL here. So we're just going to scrape it again just in case. And we can see that the OG data isn't really matching the titles. So that's something that we do want to definitely look at or at least change. So I use SSO Pro. You guys can use whatever you want. You can use Yoast Pro. I think SSO Pro is the best. So I'm going to say optimize OG data for main pages with SSO Pro or whatever you'd like to use. Emmanuel, hey Chase, just found the chat window. Nice. Yeah. Sorry, man. Sometimes I guess it's hard to find the chat window. Sometimes people tell me they don't know how to find it. I don't know if it's different on my screen, but on my screen I can see it right away. So yeah, the schema markup's not here, so we just want to really make sure we do that. So schema markup, and we'll look at the other pages as well, but definitely for the home page, we want organization. We would also want website, and then maybe like breadcrumbs or something. Anything after that you don't really have to worry about, but you know, that's basic for the home page. So I'll just put an and. Whoops. Cool. So we got that for the home page, and then also we'll look at the other pages as well in a second. So that's just that stuff. And then right here, it looks like, let's just make sure that the non-www is redirecting to the correct version. So we'll just go into here, and then we'll be able to see. So it looks like it is. That's great. And other than that, nothing really else besides the load time, which is below 2 seconds. But let's just see if we can make it any faster with any sort of things around maybe image compression. Whoops, I didn't want to look at the cached URL. I wanted to look at the load time. So we'll analyze that, and while we're waiting on that, we'll start looking at the other main pages. We will look at more of a surface level overview of like the basics that need to be implemented through Screaming Frog, but right now we're just going to look at like the main pages. So we haven't really looked at this from a visual standpoint, so we also want to take note of that. So you'll see Australia's best organic matcha tea, and then we got a good call to action right here, which is perfect. It's telling people what to do, and then experience the happiest matcha. No link silos though, besides these pictures, which this is hopefully linking to the other products. There it is. And if we go into the actual alt tag, we're going to hope that this is descriptive. So at least we get those alt tags with proper linking. So the file URL looks good. And then for the actual alt tag, I'm not sure I see it. Oh, there it is. Alt data. No, that's the URL still. So I don't know if it's me, but I don't see it. It might be because it's in like some sort of container, but we can check that out with Screaming Frog as well. So we'll look at that in a second. And then other than that, we just got the pictures without really any link silos going on. We don't necessarily need to have them, but it might be good to have for like maybe an about page or something, which it doesn't look like we have. So let's just go to the next page. So I'm going to say consider link silos. Nugent says, are you trying to get the Guinness book for a person with the most SEO online classes? That'd be cool. Leave says, seems to be working. He hits 3,000 subs today. Yeah. Oh yeah, I need to celebrate. Okay, so also here's a big thing. So for the shop, no text. So we want to make sure, because this is probably a very important page, and if we look at the link silos, there's probably tons of internal linking going to this page. So for this page, we just want to make sure that there's like 100 to 300 words of text explaining what this page is about. And maybe it's not good from a visual standpoint, but at least if we have it, we could put it here at the bottom or something. If you're worried about the visual aspect, Emmanuel. So if we look into here, one thing we do want to look at is whether this page is actually indexed in the first place. So I don't see a no index tag, so that's good. I also don't even see a robots tag, so that's kind of weird. So the other thing is that because this is a products page, it should have product markup. So let's go into structured data. We'll go to new test, enter a URL. Mark H says, how many minutes in are we? We just passed the home page, so we're about 10 minutes. Not too bad. So no product markup either, which is kind of a big thing that we really want to get in there. So I'm going to say need product markup on pages like especially if they're getting indexed, because if we look in here, also this title tag's not descriptive at all. So products dash happy matcha. So just basic on page needs to be done for the main pages. And what we want to focus on is topical seeding, like most websites. So that means, you know, getting the main keywords, kind of the different synonyms and whatnot for the different products that people are searching, so we can have Google kind of better understand the entire architecture of the website. Also, while this runs, I'm going to see if I have Power Mapper still, because this is always helpful to look at with any sort of e-commerce website. Well, any website in general, but especially e-commerce websites. I probably will end up buying this in the future. So we're going to search that, and we're just going to go ahead and map it. There it goes. All right, so while that's going, get out of here. Okay, cool. Even if we have just text descriptions of these products, so we don't want them to be duplicate text descriptions, but can even use brief descriptions of products before CTAs. Make sure these are unique. This is unique content, and not being pulled from every other page. Okay, so next what we got is we'll just go to one of the products. So now we're 2 levels down, which is good, because I was hoping that, I was hoping that this is done right, which it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 words in the URL, which is a little much, but you know, it's fine. So also in here, you know, no real linking going to the other products to pass PageRank or page authority. So also on the actual product pages, like this one, we want to make sure we are siloing to other important pages so that we can get those pages to rank higher as well. Now we do have 54% off right here, which is great. That's kind of like, you know, just more of the marketing psychology behind things, which is, you know, really good to have on e-commerce sites. I don't see a lot of e-commerce sites kind of leveraging certain stuff like this. 30% sale, organic culinary matcha green tea. So this is actually a very good title tag right here. So I'm actually really happy about this. We might want to pull the main keyword to the left and put the 30% off after, but you know, that could be okay. And so let's go into, while that loads, let's go into PageSpeed Insights and lever browser caching, which it looks like you were using WP Rocket, but I don't know if it's being set up correctly. Also, the server response time is something I see a lot. Well, it's only 0.48 seconds, but depending on what your actual hosting is, I always recommend WP Engine. So consider switching to WP Engine. And I have a discount code for WP Engine if anybody wants to switch to it. It only takes about an hour to do. And then for the images, you know, just want to make sure we're doing image compression. So make sure to do image compression. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to go into structured data. And we do have product markup, which is probably being pulled from WooCommerce, which is what I'm assuming you're using. But there is no aggregate rating. So that's a big bonus you can get by having reviews in here if you have them. And then actually get star ratings underneath your organic results, which tremendously improves your click-throughs and also helps you rank higher. So I'm going to say really want to start pushing reviews for products as well as getting aggregate rating set up through Schema. And Schema app, the actual $60 integration for WooCommerce, does the aggregate rating markup as long as you actually have the reviews. One of the ways that you can actually drive reviews, Emmanuel, is to actually funnel them from like an email list. So I haven't checked out the blog yet, but I'm hoping that there's some sort of email newsletter for this site, because if there is, you can start funneling your email newsletter signups to like a group, to a Facebook group, or whatever you want to do, and you can actually do like, you know, like free giveaways for your products, and you can exchange these for reviews. But if you do a free giveaway, you can follow up with them later and ask them what they thought about it, and if they could leave you a review on it. And most people are likely to, you know, give you a review if you gave them something for free, as long as you're not specifically exchanging your products for reviews. So, so Facebook group and do a free giveaway, follow up with reviews later. And then the other thing is that, like, depending on where you're actually getting your reviews, say you were to get reviews from Trustpilot. So if you get reviews through Trustpilot, you can start doing aggregate rating as well on search engine marketing. And you can actually get a very high ROI off of SEM if you have ads set up correctly with aggregate rating, which really helps. So I would consider using something like Trustpilot. You can use whatever you want. There's tons of third-party places that you can get reviews on. Okay, cool. So we got that. We got our social profiles, which it looks like these are like duplicate. So get rid of duplicate social profiles on product pages. And then other than that, the content looks great. This heading tag is a little long. I'd probably want to condense that a little bit, but we can pick that stuff up in Screaming Frog in a second. And then besides that, not bad. Also with the structured data, you can actually put descriptions, which it looks like you have, so no big deal. And then if we go to preview, hopefully it's pulling an image as well. I don't see it, maybe because it's not being specified. No, it is. Should be getting pulled. I don't know what the deal with that is. So I definitely know that the OG data is not getting set up right, which is not going to be pulling the image on the actual product page. Or yeah, so if I go to share on Facebook, maybe it will. Let's check it out. Like this, see? So anytime somebody shares this, there's no image associated with it. So that's not good. We want people to want to share this stuff with an image and, you know, all the good stuff. So I'm just going to say, you know, really need to fix OG data on product pages as well. Cool. So next, what we're going to do is, since we already pretty much have an idea of one product page, at least from what we can see here, we pretty much know what the other product pages are going to look like. So that's what's cool about e-commerce, is you don't have to spend too much time looking at that kind of stuff. But the general attributes and everything looks pretty good. The other thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to plug this site into SiteLiner, and I recommend this with any sort of site that's going to be e-commerce, because when you look at websites that have duplicate content, it's usually e-commerce websites. So we don't have to go to this drop down anymore, but we can go to this what is matcha, which is great. So that's kind of a slow load time there. And we got some external linking, which is great, but not really any internal linking here as well. So yeah, we just really, well, there was one there, but we just really want to do as much as we can there. And it looks like you're using your LSI keywords in here, which is great. So this is going to be a you know, pretty important page, I assume. I'm not even looking at your stuff yet in terms of your analytics, but I'm just like assuming based off what I'm seeing. So more missed opportunities there, and so that's pretty much it from a surface level overview. We do have the About Us up here, which is great. I don't know if there's a privacy. There it is. Cool. And then on the actual social profiles, I like to look at these a little bit too. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Looks like we could be doing a little bit more here. I mean, these are really high quality photos, but you know, 64 followers, there's a lot we can do in terms of that. I personally have 17K followers on my Instagram, and there's some ways that you can pretty much get those things set up really easily. So I would consider social media optimization as well. And also, as I always recommend, start with a $10 buffer subscription to start scheduling posts out with optimal times. And I don't know how many actual social media profiles are set up, but we should try to go for a good amount of them to start scheduling posts with optimal timing. All right. Cool. So next what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at the search results. And notice how I still haven't even really looked at Screaming Frog yet or analytics. And the reason for that is because there's so much that we can look at without really needing to do that stuff yet. It is going to be helpful. So the other thing that I'm seeing is that a lot of these pages aren't being that descriptive. So free shipping, that's descriptive, but we could have a little bit more in these titles because they're really short. So that kind of just goes back to the basic on page I was talking about. So we won't go back over that, but that's just something that I'm seeing as a reoccurring theme. We are indexing the paginated pages, which is great. The categories are being indexed, which is great, except this is not great. So if we look in here and we look at slide 1, that's a 404. So we want to make sure, want to make sure we are no indexing pages like, and the reason why we want to make sure that those are no index is because we don't want Google thinking that some of our pages are low quality. So just taking care of those 404s, taking care of pages like this that really have no purpose except for the picture. Once we, clean up a lot of these type of pages, Google's going to be a lot happier with us. So the next thing we're going to want to do is see if there's certain things being indexed. So we'll just type in author. And there is an author being indexed, so I'm going to say no index author. Whoops. And the next thing I'm going to do is category, which we already saw there was categories, but you'll see matcha guides. And then if we go into here and click on it, this looks great, except there's no content upgrades or email signups here, so that's kind of a missed opportunity. So I'm just going to say on blog posts, besides the siloing, as I keep saying, we want to make sure to implement content upgrade to start building newsletter, which we can also use if we want to do remarketing through Facebook or whatever else we want to do. So we'll go to 18. How you guys doing, by the way? Emmanuel, are you hanging in there? Jesus. Oh, okay, so I understand what's going on. So this page is just an entire page of content, which it looks like. Okay, so this is a problem. So do you see how all of this is actually getting indexed? So we don't want the category to be indexing everything, because now we're going to have duplicate content. So I'm going to say we want on category pages, we only want about, what is it, like 50 words or something? I think it's like 55. About 55 words per text per preview for each post. Because we don't want duplicate content. That's just not going to be helpful for us. And then other than that, in the actual categories, these categories should have previews explaining what the categories are about. So categories should have short previews explaining what they are about, as well as actually links in those. So with interlinking to other to most important posts, which I'm hoping there's cornerstone content in this site. I haven't even looked at it yet, but I am going to cross my fingers on that one. So for the site liner, I'm sure this is picking up this duplicate content. If we go into here and we click here, and then we actually see the other pages that look like duplicate content. Of course, that author is going to be conflicting with the actual categories that are going to be showing the same stuff that the author is showing. And you'll see all of this is showing up as duplicate content. So we just really want to stay away from that as much as possible. But just simply by no indexing that stuff, we're going to get away from it. Also, if we look at the FAQ and any other page, it looks like a lot of these words are matching other pages like the Contact Us page. We really want to make sure that that's not happening. So should go through site and make text as diverse as possible for each page. Example, contact and FAQ page has 500 matching words. So Emmanuel says only had the site for a few weeks, so this is great stuff. Right on. Cool. Cool. So other than that, we're going to go back here. So we see that category is being indexed. And then I'm hoping that this blog like this is not also having the same category URLs. So if we go like this, so you see how blog category matcha guides is being indexed. Well, what is going on there? I just got a 404. So we got the post like this in one category. And then in this other category, was there a redirect there? What just happened? Hold on, where'd that blog? Blog. Okay, so that redirects, so that's good. All right, cool. So I was just making sure. It looks like that might have just been done or something, because I'm hoping that's a 301 also. So, all right. So we got to get a pretty good idea on that stuff, and then just no indexing the other things that we just saw. You'll see that Google's not showing some of that stuff because it's already found that it looks duplicate. So, cool. So we looked at the site indexed. We looked at a lot of the basic stuff on the different pages, the siloing, all that good stuff. Other than that, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start looking at some of our top 10 pages and see if there's anything going on in terms of things that Google's picking up. So if we go into here and we look at HTML improvements, you'll see that Google's picking up those duplicate meta descriptions, duplicate title tags. So we're going to pick that up in Screaming Frog either way, but get rid of duplicate titles and metas. And then other than that, we're going to go into, where is it? Let's see if there's AMP on here. Looks like there was, and now there's no more AMP pages. Okay, so we're going to go to Search Analytics. Well, we're going to look at links also. So let's go to Search Analytics first, and we'll go to dates, last 90 days, clicks, impressions, click-throughs, and positions. And then we'll go to queries. And then you'll see these are all the keywords that we're getting clicks for. So the brand name, which is great. And a good thing that we're ranking #1 for that. Matcha Lamington, which looks like we're ranking well for that. By Matcha, we're number 13, number 9 for that, which is insane. That's a super awesome keyword to be ranking for. So probably could do basic optimization and on-page link building and rank the keywords rank higher than position 9 for keywords around by matcha, which is basically the main keyword right now, at least the one that we're getting most clicks for, other than this stuff over here, matcha powder Australia. And then these are all the other did my computer just freeze? Oh, my mouse just froze. Hold on 1 second. While I'm fixing this mouse problem, you guys should hit the like button if you haven't already. Okay, cool. So the other thing that we want to look at is just optimizing the top 10 pages with on-page as much as we can. So these are the top 10 right here. And it looks like a couple of these are using AMP. I would just say optimize top 10 pages with on-page and on-page SEO plus link link silos or interlinking. And then of course the other things that we're going to be doing is going to help those rank higher as well. And then eventually probably want to look at off-page SEO as well for that stuff. So we're not going to dive too deep into this right now, but it's just something to basically to note. Some other things that we can look at is acquisition and all traffic, source medium. Emmanuel says, I changed the URL structure for the blog, so redirecting via plugin. Should I do it server side? I think the plugin's fine. So Google Organic, well, actually, let's filter by more days than this. So we'll go like, well, actually, let's compare. Let's do this last month and compare it to before, just to see what the trajectory is. So it looks like probably some of those changes you did actually helped Emmanuel, which is great. And actually, it doesn't look like there was analytics on here anyways back then, so I guess I can't really say anything about that. which it would have been nice if they had analytics. I would have asked for them, like for you to, or I would have said that you should have asked them for any sort of data they had. But one of the things you can see is the conversions are set up, which is great. The average session, well, let's get rid of this comparison since we don't really have anything. Google Organic 601, bounce rate's actually pretty good, 56%. It's not too bad. And then the actual conversion rate's kind of low though. And then you'll see in here, you are already doing CPC, which I didn't know yet, but that's great. There's probably a lot that I could do in terms of optimizing the AdWords as well. So consider having me optimize AdWords for you. A lot of my campaigns, like I ran campaigns for like insurance agencies and stuff. So a lot of my ads actually get really high click-throughs and high ad rank either way. So other than that, we got some social traffic, which is great. And next thing what we're going to do is we're just going to go out of here and go into our tools. We're going to go into Zenu first. So we're going to press yes, cancel out of that. And there it is. Manuel says, I can give you old Google Analytics account access if you'd like. And that's not that big of a deal. I don't have to, I mean, it's fine. I was just trying to see a comparison. So you'll see there's a lot of 404s on these pages. And then if we do broken links ordered by page, there's a lot of pages with, looks like some error codes that we want to fix. I honestly just use like broken link checker for this stuff. So I would say consider removing 404s and 301s with broken link checker. Okay, so of course we're picking up a lot in Zenu. We don't have to spend too much time in that. And then if we go to Screaming Frog, we're going to look at some of the more surface or overall HTML issues. So like I said, these URLs are a little long. We probably want to see what we can do to make these a little bit shorter. I mean, not these, but any future URLs. So I would say in the future, let's make sure URLs are under 6 words. Okay, and then other than that, just the things I was telling you about before, these title tags being too long, we just want to make sure that they're under 75. Make titles under 75 on, and then make titles longer that are under like 55. We'll just do like that. Make titles longer on. Okay, cool. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our inlinks, and you can see that these are the actual pages that are being linked to the most. And I assume that a lot of these are probably ranking the highest because of the amount of on-page inlinks going to them. And then you'll see that some of these have very little inlinks, like this page, basically the blog pages, which is normal. But maybe for like some of the product pages, we could have some more links going to them. So like buy matcha bamboo, matcha tea scoop, that one only has 56 internal links, or sorry, 53, which we could probably up a lot. And also the pages that have the most inlinks are probably going to pass the most page rank as well. So if you wanted to link from the contact us page to some of the most important products, might not be a bad idea. And then you'll see these title tags. A lot of them look very similar. Not too similar, but a little bit too similar. So I'm going to say consider making title tags more unique with LSI. And then next, let's see where we're at with time. How long have we been doing this? Okay, we're at 34 minutes. Cool. And then some of these pages are being no indexed. Let's just check those out, make sure that those are good. Bring these over. Oops, go back over there. My account, cart, yeah, that's good. And then the actual meta descriptions as well. Some of them are missing. So like I said, you know, in the other one, we just need to fix those and on the paginated pages or the pages that aren't being indexed doesn't really matter, but like, these pages can definitely shop needs to be done. So add meta descriptions. All right. Next, we're going to go over to H1s. And some of these pages are missing H1s, but those are the no index ones, and these are ones we're probably going to no index. So most pages have H1s, which is great. Let's check out the meta description lengths. So we'll bring this over here, bring it over there. Wish there was an easier like hotkey to just move this all the way to the left next to the URLs. So boom, make meta descriptions shorter on those, and then can make them a little bit longer on these, but not too bad. I'll just say make them longer on these ones. What number are we on? This is like 28. Whoops. Make meta descriptions longer on. Cool. So we're going to keep going. And no meta keywords tag, as we already know, which is great. H1 lengths, probably don't want to go over 75 characters, which looks like most of them aren't, which is great. And then the page sizes, they look fine. Some of them are kind of large, but you know, it's fine. The response times, largest one is like a 2.4, which is not bad. And then the actual word counts, let's check these out. So these are all pretty good, actually very good. All the canonicals look fine. Outlinks looks great. And then keep going. So now what we can do is we can go into the Google Analytics stuff and Search Console. So we just go into bounce rates above 70%. And then I would just say on these, consider CRO, because you know if they're above 70%, there's stuff we can do. So consider CRO for the following pages that have above 70% bounce rates. And then, you know, other than that, you know, we might want to look at the actual average session duration. I mean, this isn't that many sessions, but, you know, at least for like pages like this, with 34 sessions and an 80% bounce, or 70 was like above the 73% bounce rate, might want to look at that. And then the actual average session durations, but there isn't that much data right there, so I mean, not that big of a deal, but you can see that this one is converting, but has a above the 70% bounce rate. So, and then if we go into Search Console, we can actually look at the different pages getting clicks, and then use those to see what the actual click-throughs are and see if we can raise that up based off the actual impressions. So the CTRs right here, which I don't know why it shows it like this. It shows like a 0.0262, which I think that means it's like a 2% bounce, 2% click through. It's like a 4% click through, but it's not showing the actual keywords that these are getting clicks for. So, but anything like this, where it's a 0.085 with 234 impressions, probably want to consider changing the title tags on this, especially. So we're going to copy URL, say optimize titles for click-throughs on pages like anything that's like under a 2% click-through rate, you can optimize, which is great. Okay, cool. So other than that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into, oh yeah, we didn't look at the site structure with Power Mapper. Let's go into here and we'll go to style and we'll change the style to Electrum 2.0. So this is the home page, and these are the main pages that are being linked to from the home page. or at least the file path. Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. And you'll see it goes straight to the organic, I think the shop, and then the about and the discount, promo codes, FAQ, and then all of these pages that go into. So this site architecture actually looks really good. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. So this looks a lot better than most sites. Wow. That's really good, actually. Huh. Cool. Well, that's good. So let's go to style and go to, where is it? We want to go to skyscrapers. And this is how you can kind of see the topical seating. And you'll see a lot of these are probably helping you rank for Australia, but probably not helping you rank worldwide by having, I guess it's just your brand name. So yeah, I'd probably keep that with the brand like that with the keywords in it. And these actually are pretty good for LSI, except for the site's actually done pretty well in terms of a lot of the stuff that's going on in here. Just can be a little bit more descriptive with what we're going for. All right, so we looked at that. Get out of here. So I don't really have much to say about the site architecture, but if we go into the images and we look at the actual alt, which I don't know why it's not showing me alt. Oh, that's because it's external. Let me go to, where is it? Where is it? There should be images around here. There it is. So meta descriptions, we don't need meta descriptions for the images because they're not being indexed, or I don't think they are. Yeah. But the actual, where is the alt? Usually there's alt tags. I don't know where the heck they are. This is bizarre. I think there's actually an element in here that I can look for images without alt tags. If I can't find it, then I'll just skip it. But if they don't have alt tags, we definitely want to make sure that they do. Oh, here it is, missing alt text. So all of these are missing alt text. So we just want to make sure that all of those we add alt text to, especially if they're going to be linking or receiving links. So add alt tags to the following images. And then other than that, let's see. Looks like there's no hreflang, which we don't really need, I don't think. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty decent overall. I would also say, you know, get set up in a rank tracker if you haven't. Yeah, so other than that, I mean, it's all pretty decent. So I'm just going to make the top 10 list right now. Let's see. Okay, so one, get basic HTML improvements fixed, like the duplicate titles, you know, missing metas, etc. The next one would be, let's see, let's actually go through the list. Use AccuRanker. What's your tracker of choice? I use SEO Profiler, but you can use whatever you want. I mean, if it works for you, then I would just keep using it. I also need to check the links on this site in a second, but I want to just bring these side by side. So, 2, start doing, gosh darn it, volume button. I don't know what is with this keyboard. I hate this keyboard. Start doing link silos on main pages. Get rid of duplicate content issues. And no index, thin content, or thin content pages and pages that have no use, like the one that we saw over here. I would say OG data should be fixed, but I don't know if it should be in the top 10. I would definitely say that the content upgrades would be really important. And then also we got, let's see, I would say doing the schema markup would be really good to do. So I would do schema markup with aggregate rating, and also need to, well, that would be next, and also markup for main pages like home. Start driving reviews. Since you're already doing ads too, I would really start driving reviews to Trustpilot. Okay, so let's see what else. Some of this other stuff's pretty minor. Probably could do basic optimization on page link building. Optimize top 10 pages. I would also say optimize top 10 pages with interlinking and CTR optimization. Or yeah, I don't want to be repetitive, but I guess that's what it is. And then let's see what else. These are the basics that we already mentioned. So the interlinking we did, the AdWords, I'd probably say that's, oh yeah, fix broken links. And then the category should have short previews, but before I add that as the last one, I want to actually go into the whatever links are coming into the site. So I'm going to go over here. Whoops, that's not my internet. It's over here. 1 second. Whoops. All right, so we got 609 backlinks, mostly do follow from .coms. Most are text, which is great. And then the URL distribution is not that great. Just from looking at this, I'm assuming that there's some sort of not necessarily the best link building going on, or best practices. Let's actually look at the backlinks. Digital journal, Italian wine, food, that's relevant. But stuff like this, I mean, some of this stuff you can't really avoid, especially if somebody's like, doing negative SEO. But actually doesn't look too bad. These links actually look decent. I would maybe consider doing some sort of link detox, which you can do through like SEO Profiler, just like find links that are really spammy and disavow them. But you don't really want to disavow links unless you really have to. But maybe it would be a good idea to look more in depth into the links. Apparently the previous owner used a Fiverr PR blast. Oh, great. Yeah. So we're just going to hope that that's not going to cause any issues. So next, one of the things I did want to look at was the content marketing. So if we go to blog, honestly, I would try to make the blog more prominent and actually put drop downs, but that's just me. You can do it however you want. So I'd say consider making blog more, putting blog and listing categories underneath it. And then for the actual content, besides the stuff that's like looks duplicate, well, actually not this stuff, but the other one. So this is a good text preview right here. It's just the categories that's not doing the text previews. So if we continue reading this, you know, I would just say for these blogs, probably we just really want to make sure that we're doing the most we can with this stuff. So with blogs, want to repurpose purpose more into social and get funnel going with either email signups or product purchases or both. So I would just say, yeah, and then also might want to look at the actual competition through SEMrush. Oops. Whoops. Might be good. Should start looking at competition, main competition through SEMrush and see if we can push content around the stuff that they are also ranking for. And then just really want to continue to drive lots of content. And also consider making some cornerstone that would be around 5,000 plus words. All right, so I guess for the last one, I would just say for the last main tip, I would say this one would be huge. Of course, you know, there's a lot of other stuff that we could list as the, you know, last 10, but I think those are some of the biggest things that should probably be fixed right away. So I'm gonna put that down here. And other than that, I think we got 8 minutes left, but that's pretty much what I can see that, you know, overall should probably be fixed. I could look at a couple other things, but I mean, that's, you know, some of the biggest stuff. We could actually look at the competition. So Australia, what was the keywords? Search console. And we'll go into here. And into here. And into here. And then into here. So it was Matcha Tea Australia. There it is. So yeah, that's something we could definitely do basic on page for and probably get this to rank a lot higher. I'm wondering if this would show up as a local result if we got a Google My Business location. I think maybe Matcha Tea Shops or something would show up. Yeah, there we go. So maybe you want to consider getting a Google My Business location too. We could also start driving reviews there as well, which would be cool. Because there's not much competition there. That's kind of some low-hanging fruit, and you're already ranking there, so I don't know why it might not be a bad idea. And then you'll see this is the aggregate rating I was talking about. So Manuel, do you have any questions, man? We got like 5 minutes, but I pretty much just ran through that whole thing. Let's see. Matcha dropship. Yeah. So I think that's good. I mean, I hope you don't mind, Emmanuel, but it's like 5 minutes early. But that's pretty much what I would say for the very first stuff that I've seen. I can see like a lot of the stuff we can dive a lot deeper into, but overall, I mean, that's a good amount of stuff to kind of get you moving in the right direction. So hope you found that helpful. And if you need any help with this stuff, let me know. I can definitely help you out with any of the things that might be technical or stuff that you need help with, or if you just want me to help you with like all of it. Definitely send me an email and let me know, and I will get this report over to you in the next hour or so. I actually do have another audit right now after this. So Manuel says, do you think it would be beneficial to focus on local when I want to target the whole country? Yeah, I mean, so you can actually have a local location and still target the whole country, kind of like how I do it with this. So you could still like have a local location and bring in customers like that, because kind of the stuff, some of your main keywords are actually, well, that you're getting clicks for right now are around Australia, and you could rank for those keywords just by having a local location as well. But it's really up to you. I mean, you don't have to do that, but it might just be a way to get some extra sales and some extra people in the door, and also maybe increase your overall authority just by having some active profiles that when people look up your brand, they actually can see stuff like this instead of just the matcha tea, or sorry, what was it? It was happy matcha. Let's try it. So you'll see you can actually take over the side knowledge graph right here if you had a location that was authoritative enough, if you had like 20 reviews or whatever you wanted to do, which might actually even improve your overall brand trust. So something to consider. I definitely think that it would only help. I don't think it would hurt. So anyways, I got to hop on to another audit right now. So I hope you guys found that helpful. And Emmanuel, thanks for hitting me up and asking for the help. And hopefully you found this helpful as well. And until I see you guys next time, happy SEOing.